Are you secretly sabotaging your own financial freedom? Seriously, think about it for a second. Welcome to this high-speed explainer where we are going to expose the 7 silent wealth killers that are actively destroying the financial future of millions. We're breaking down the hard data into quick, bite-sized documentary segments so you can stop going broke and start building actual wealth. Let's get into it. So, we open with this absolutely staggering paradox. It's kind of crazy, right? The United States is literally the richest country in the history of human civilization. We're surrounded by more wealth, more opportunity, and more financial advice than ever before. But get this, the data shows that a massive 57% of Americans cannot cover a basic $1,000 emergency without going into debt. Most people are literally one flat tire or one minor medical bill away from total financial disaster. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the massive disconnect between building true wealth and falling into the modern trap of hyper-consumerism. Take Warren Buffett. The guy has a net worth of over $130 billion, yet he still lives in the exact same house he bought back in 1958 for just $31,500. Now, contrast that with the average American, financing a car they can barely afford, drowning in $6,000 of credit card debt, and paying for a dozen subscription services they don't even remember signing up for.
Chapter 1. The Spending Illusion.
Okay, so it all starts with this incredibly dangerous habit, lifestyle inflation. This is when you immediately upgrade your life and your spending habits the exact second you get a raise. You get a bump in pay, and bam, what do? You get a nicer apartment, buy flashier clothes, eat out way more often. A recent Empower study revealed a mind-blowing stat. 70% of Americans who received a raise reported absolutely zero increase in their savings rate. They didn't upgrade their future, they just upgraded their present. Social media has basically convinced us that we deserve luxury right now, way before we've actually built the foundation to support it. Adding to this whole illusion is the silent drain of convenience. Just take the number 133. Studies show the average person underestimates their monthly subscription spending by exactly $133. We sign up for these apps, streaming services, monthly boxes, and then just completely forget about them. That $133 a month, that translates to $2,600 a year. That is money quietly evaporating right out of your bank account. Netflix actually looked at their own user data, and it makes this problem undeniable. They found that 33% of their subscribers hadn't watched a single piece of content in the last month. 1/3. That means millions of people are literally paying for nothing. It is wealth destruction on autopilot. Let's move on to Chapter 2, the debt traps. Americans collectively owe a staggering $1.1 trillion in credit card debt. And no, that's not a typo, 1.1 trillion. And what makes this so incredibly toxic is the interest rate. Right now, the average credit card interest rate is sitting right around 28%. If you carry just a $5,000 balance for 1 year at that rate, you're burning $1,400 just in interest. That's $1,400 out of your pocket for absolutely nothing in return. You know, Dave Ramsey famously said, "We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like." Whether you follow all his advice or not, you've got to admit, he hit the nail perfectly on the head here. We're using high-interest debt to fake wealth. Now, here's a trap the dealership is definitely not going to warn you about. It's devastating how fast a new car destroys your net worth. Step 1. The literal second you drive a brand new car off the lot, it loses 10% of its value. Step 2, by the end of year 1, 20% is totally wiped out. Meaning on a typical $35,000 car, you just lost $7,000 in 12 months, just like that. The math here is just brutal. The average American car payment just hit a record $738 a month. That's nearly $9,000 a year poured into an asset that is actively losing value. Think about this. If you took that exact same $738 a month and invested it in a basic S&P 500 index fund for 30 years, it grows to over $900,000. You are literally trading away a millionaire retirement just to drive a slightly newer metal box. Which brings us to Chapter 3, the growth killers. Take a look at the massive gap in your earning potential right now. If your emergency fund is just sitting in a traditional big bank, you're earning about 0.01% interest. Meanwhile, inflation is eating away at your money at a rate of roughly 3%. Guys, you are legally being robbed of your purchasing power while you sleep. On the flip side, high-yield savings accounts are paying between 4.5 and 5% with the exact same FDIC insurance. There's zero reason to leave your savings sitting in a lazy account. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and honestly, the math proves why. If you invest just $100 a month, starting at age 22, by the time you're 62, you'll have over $525,000. But if you wait just 10 years, if you say, I'll start when I have more money and begin at age 32, that exact same $100 a month only grows to $226,000. A simple 10-year delay literally costs you $300,000. And that old excuse that you don't have enough money to start? Yeah, that's completely dead. Platforms today let you begin investing with literally just $1. You do not need thousands of dollars anymore. The barrier to entry is entirely gone, meaning the only thing stopping your financial growth right now is you. All right, Chapter 4, The Root Cause. For 12 whole years, the American school system makes absolutely sure you know algebra, the dates of the American Revolution, and of course, that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But how many hours do they actually spend teaching you how taxes work, how to build your credit, or how to invest? Zero. We are sending entire generations of young adults out into the real world financially blind. This totally broken system is exactly why Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad is still a massive bestseller decades later. Nothing has changed. A recent survey found that only 19% of Americans can pass a basic financial literacy test. 19%. The vast majority of the country just doesn't understand the rules of the game they are literally forced to play. But here's the good news. The truly empowering reality is that financial education is totally free now. Between YouTube, library books, and explainer series exactly like this one, everything you need to go from broke to wealthy is right at your fingertips. Honestly, just by watching this presentation, you're already putting yourself in the top 20%. Because the people who win financially today are simply the ones who make the conscious choice to learn. So, we've arrived at the ultimate choice. Think back to 2008, when the entire economy basically fell off a cliff. Who actually survived? Who came out wealthier on the other side? Spoiler alert, it wasn't the people with the fanciest cars or the most heavily mortgaged mega mansions. The true survivors had three simple things in common: strong, active savings, zero high-interest credit card debt, and they kept investing consistently even when the market was completely bleeding out. They avoided the traps. So here they are, the 7 wealth killers: lifestyle inflation, credit card debt, the car trap, subscription creep, lazy savings, not investing, and financial ignorance. Conquering these 7 habits isn't just about having a fatter bank account. It is literally the difference between clocking out with dignity and freedom at 55 and being forced to grind away at work until you're 75, just crossing your fingers that Social Security hasn't completely run dry. So I'm going to leave you with one final provocative question. Which of these 7 habits hits you the hardest? Be totally honest with yourself here, confront the data we just walked through, and make the active choice today to change your trajectory. You live in the wealthiest country on earth. It's time to stop acting broke and start building your future.